Hello and welcome back for more naval action. We're out in our pirate frigate and today we are chasing an English third rate. Let's get into the fight and see how we do. We have 55 minutes until the maintenance comes up and we'll see how the battle goes. Do the attack and I'll be alright with you as soon as we're in the fight. See you in a second. And we are in. Not the best of tags, he's slightly ahead of me, but we'll make do. And for the beginning we will set our sails, or our chains to hit his sails. Not the other way around. Slightly dark, the sun is setting. Now the third rate versus my pirate frigate definitely hits hard, and I am too close to maximize on my chain for this first pass, so I'm actually going to leave him be. For now anyway. Gaining a bit of distance. Let's do a turn, get those chains in. And we don't want him hitting us with too many broadsides because he packs quite a punch compared to us. And he is lining up, so let's fire off. Our chains got some speed, so we can get in behind him for a secondary broadside. On the rear. Now we will have to take our time with this fight, otherwise we are gonna get over our heads. He's twice the crew of us. He's at least almost 3 times the hit points, and if not more. And his broadside is just gonna pound us fairly quickly if we're not careful. So we'll have to take our time, spend our repairs wisely, and make sure we rake him as much as possible. Slightly low. I'm gonna get him behind him now. D-power to decrease our heal. Just gonna push the speed a bit, get a bit more in behind him. Use the wind to push us around. Now, I don't have that many rounds of chain shot on my ship, so I am trying to maximize the effect of them when I actually do get a shot in, and that's why I didn't take that 45-degree angle broadside on him. And he's caught up wind. Let's try and capitalize on it. Simply in too far in, gotten too close. With him being on battle sails, we don't do as much damage. And let's see if we can come around. For another pass on his stern before he gets turned around. Even ourselves out. It's better. 5 would go too far out. Not overly happy with the effect of my chains on these first passes. Let's see. Should be a better range on this one. Going to depower to take the heel out of our ship. See if we can get in as far behind them as possible. I'm really not on the ball on this one. We're out of chain shot. Time to get in close behind him and start raking him as much as we can. Shift a bit more crew into the repair. And now it's just a matter of getting repeated stern rakes in without having too much damage done to us. Have too much damage done. It is early day and only had 1 cup of coffee so far, so I am mumbling a bit. Sorry for that part. Alright, as we come on in, cut the power as we pass. Careful when you cut power coming in behind a ship like that. You may get boarded, so definitely watch your speed as you come on in. I just cut the speed too much on that one. You saw that I cut the speed just to make sure I get as much effect in on him as possible, but I actually cut it too far down. So I was actually moving too slowly past him for all my guns to hit the stern. It is a bit of a learning curve to get rakes down right, because if you come in too fast, you're going to overshoot or shoot too early. And if you're going to come in too slow, you're either going to hit with your first and miss with your last, or miss with your first and hit with your last. So it does take a bit of practice. Now our repair is almost done. Make sure we get a sailing crew back. There you go, another pass coming in. See what I mean? A bit too much speed and the angle was off. So I hit with my initial shots, but the end of the broadside overshot. There's a lot of things that goes into doing a good stern rank. When you're trying to take on bigger targets like this third rate, I'm in a 5th grade, or in my pirate frigate it was a rank 5 to use the proper term, was as a rank 3. You are going to take damage. It's just a matter of using as much for your maneuverability and skill to reduce the amount of damage that you actually take. Again, a few shots over. And once more, he's put himself into a position where he's in irons, and I got the maneuver. Decent amount of damage. Come around. Maybe. It's not the best of angles I'm gonna get here, but I'm gonna take the shot. See, most of them bounce, only 3 penetrations. Ow. 4 minutes to our next repair. Guns are reloaded. I'm just creating a bit of distance here and then re-engaging to position myself better relative to the wind so I can get in behind him again. Gonna bleed a bit of speed, let him pass in front of me. That means I am gonna take a broadside to the bow. If he maintains his course. If not, he's gonna turn into broadside, and we'll get in behind him. Which he is. Fair enough. Start turning. Not that much damage done, but I can get the reload in before he gets into position, so might as well take the shot. And time is ticking. Do you need to apply some damage to him in order for us to do this within the allotted time frame? Come on, buddy. I'm gonna lure him to push around and fire his broadside. Oh. There we go. That's our spot. Roll it shut out. 1 minute 20 to the next repair, and we do need to initiate it as soon as we can, otherwise we're not going to survive. Come around before he reloads. And we managed to regain the weather gauge. Good connections, good connections. Come around. Looks like he's going to give us the wind. That's a very good hit. Patting my own back, I know, but you should do when you get a good broadside in or pass a good maneuver with a buddy if you're sailing around in a pair. Pat yourself on the back if you do something that's good. Bleed a bit of speed. So yeah, maneuver too far out now. Just gonna pull with the wind for a bit, get my repair up. And then we're gonna re-engage and regain the weather gauge. For now, he's in the control as he has the wind relative to me, but I have the speed to maintain a bit of distance as I get my repair done. Get the surgeon to work a bit faster, get our crew back up. And I do apologise for this being a very dark fight, but it's just a time of the day. $20 passed so far, and we have a bit over half an hour to finish the fight. Might as well. Took more damage than I'd like on that turn, but not much I can do with it, except I could have stayed running. But I really do want to get back in behind him, so we're gonna gamble here and have him push ahead of me. Even though it may cause another broadside to my bow as he passes along. Alright, here we go. Repair is complete. Go. There you see the message, 30 minutes to go. And we are unloaded on our bow. And he's going to keep turning, trying to get a broadside in on us, and that means he's going to get caught in the wind. So we can get back up behind him, ram something up. Bleed a bit of speed. He's turning out again. Another good hit. I've mentioned this in some of my other videos, which one I don't recall it now, but when you get to know a ship, just fairly get to know it, you don't have to master it, but as soon as you get to know it, make sure to challenge yourself in that ship. Go for bigger targets, don't just go for the safe ones, especially on the PvE server. The only way to get really better is to challenge yourself by taking on targets above your grade, like either in mass, firepower, crew, or in speed maneuverability. That's the best way to progress and learn as a captain, is to challenge yourself by taking on targets that are harder than the ones you usually find as you grind for XP. He's going to change his turn here, so are we. He's going to fire first. Good amount of hits. D-power, so you can get in behind him. No, he's maintaining his turn. Well, I'm not going to give it to you. Gonna bleed as much speed as I can. It's a slightly risky maneuver here, but if you get too close, he may board. And you don't want that. Bit late on the bow chasers there. But we managed to attack way before him. Misclicked there and put on battle zones. I didn't intend to. And he didn't do as I predicted. I had predicted him to start turning back to get at me, but he didn't. So I was surprised slightly by that persistence to get caught in the wind, but fair enough. That's what you just want to do. Overshot. Now, if you see that initially you overshoot either by speed or simply bad aim, you can adjust your ship's angle as the broadside goes out, maybe save a few of the shots and get them back on target. But again, it takes a bit of feeling to do. Now he's got the weather gauge on me again, simply by the fact that I wasn't paying attention. I damaged out his rudder, and that forced him into that maneuver before. And I was so keen on getting that stern rake in, I wasn't paying attention to why he was doing the maneuvers he did, which now means that he's got the wind on me. So once more, we have to maneuver into position to get back behind him. It can be done, just be aware that it may cause a bit of damage to you as you do. around 30 seconds, we're going to initiate another repair. Go, should gain the wind. And in a good position to get in behind him again here. Receive a bit of fire here. Use our armor to mitigate most of it. Depower, turn. Speed is slightly high. Come around. I was a bit too close as I did the turn. Could have pulled out a bit and I wouldn't have been that far up his broadside and into his firing arc, but we managed. Set that one out too early. You'll see how most of it ricocheted off in the end there. Come back around, reload. He's going to keep turning. I'm going to get caught in the wind in a second. And he's coming back around. Not going to be optimal, this one. Decent amount of damage. Get some angle on for that broadside of his. Comes, there it goes. Most bounces off our armor here. Once more, we find ourselves downwind of him. Have to claw our way back up. Alright, almost shook it off. Coming back around. Ow. See if we can squeeze as much angle needed to get in behind him without going too slow. Once again, keeping that 3.5 in mind so we don't get bored in. Just like that with that one. Now he's moving very slowly and we are coming in through his firing arc. So we are going to take a bit of damage here. But I am trying to push back in behind him, and looking at both his and my status, I know I can take the hits. For now at least. But he is picking off my crew and it's just removed the remaining of my bow armor. So keep it in mind if you do push through a broadside. What the consequences might be on your part. Risk and reward. Fire slightly late. Yeah, that was a damn good example of how not to do a rake. Came in through his broadside, taking the damage on the nose, and then coming out on the opposite side, right into his firing arc, and taking another pounding. Now we've got 15 minutes left to finish this guy, but he is slowly going to start taking on water, and a few good rakes in, and he should be going down. Lead a bit speed. Good one. His pump's out. He's going to be taking on water for a bit. Let's come around, maximize the damage if we can get the other broadside reloaded and into him as well as this one. So you can get the bow chasers in just to add to the damage. Keeping our speed up, remembering the 3.5. Another good hit. He may swing around and hit our stern here as we turn. Let's see if we can get out of the way before he do. No. Good hit on his part. He is slowly taking on water. See if we can get in behind him here, more or less stationary. He's not moving as much. Just a matter of getting into position and get him down to the last 20% of his structure. Have him sink and hopefully do it fast enough that we won't be hit by the maintenance. Get another reload in, broadside out, turn, come back around before he maneuvers. There you go. Now, what I'm feeling right now is confident enough to take this battle on to the end. However, knowing that maintenance is going to come up in about 10 minutes, does put a kind of a time pressure on me. Normally you would have like 46 minutes left, maybe a tad more on the battle timer. But as maintenance is coming up fairly soon, I do need this battle complete before maintenance. That's what's pushing me to take a few more risks than I usually would. Like this, once more pushing myself right through his broadside arc to get in there and do a bit more damage. Angling a bit to deflect some shots. Slightly overshot on that one. Come back around. Get a bit more crew on in now. I am actually starting to worry I might finish this one in time, but let's see. He's simply moving too slow against the wind. Or me pushing against the wind and he's moving too slow. Let's see if a bit of broadside damage might help. There, he's into the last 20 seconds. So it's just a 20%, and water is starting to get up to his gun ports on the lower deck. Damage pump. It's just a matter of whether we have enough time. 7 minutes remaining before maintenance. Come around once more. He's more or less dead in the water, so he's taken on water and he's sinking. Very clear sign as they stop moving around. Still need to be mindful of his broadside here though. Create a bit of an angle and get in behind him once more. And you see he is sitting lower in the water now, even though there's a wave coming on. The water line is almost to his gun ports in the lower deck. We're just going to inch in behind him, apply a bit of damage, and hopefully he'll be down within the next 5 minutes before that maintenance comes. We've got 4 minutes until the next warning, and maintenance happens shortly after the exact point. It's not going to be dead on, so we may get him yet, but it's definitely tight. And bleed a bit of speed here. See if I can come to a full stop. I don't want to go negative. I just want to come to a stop. Lower gun deck is underwater. Too much of an angle. Water coming up quickly. There he goes. What a good fight. What do we get? French gunners. Not much, but a good fight either way. And let's check out the XP amount before we end this episode. Almost 200,000 reals, almost 2,000 XP, and our third rate search and destroy mission is complete. A good fun fight. Let's just get back to port. if I can before everything else shuts down. I'm most likely going to be stranded until after maintenance, but hopefully you enjoyed the fight. I am going to leave it mostly unedited, but you'll probably know that at this point if you watched so far. Thank you for watching, and hope you enjoyed the Naval Action content. If you do, remember to like, comment, subscribe to the channel for more content, and until next time, stay safe.